I'm not paying for diagnostics when AutoZone will scan it for free. They do diagnostics for free. No, they don't. Many of you like to believe that. That's not the case. They put a code reader on your car, and they read the codes that's there, and then they try to sell you parts according to the code. A lot of times the code isn't what you think it is. Case in point, this Toyota Camry that I'm sitting in right now. It's a 14 Toyota Camry. It's got a check engine light and a traction control light on. See that? All right, I don't have my scanner in the vehicle right now, but I did scan it for codes, and it's got a P0171. System lean. Now, this car has a hard starting issue, and it sets a lean code when driving. Now, had you gone to AutoZone, Advanced Automotive, O'Reilly's, Napa, any one of those places that does a free code reading for you, they're going to print you out what it is and what the possible causes are. Now, my scanner, when I read the code, it'll tell you the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a picture of it because I took a photo of the screen. Now, as you can see in that photo that I just had up, the number one cause is a mass air meter. Next cause is an oxygen sensor, upstream oxygen sensor. It's actually an air-fuel ratio sensor. The third cause, I don't recall what that was, I don't have the picture in front of me, but the fourth cause, which actually becomes the more prominent one before the third cause, the fourth cause was the purge solenoid, which I've seen those go bad and cause this issue. So my point here is, if you go to AutoZone or any of those parts stores, I'm not slamming them at all, don't think I am, I'm not, but it's their job, and they are not diagnosing your car. If you went there, they'd tell you, okay, these are the causes, and you would think, okay, let me throw a mass air meter in it. Okay, so $150 later, you put a mass air meter on it. Didn't fix anything. Still doing exactly the same thing. Okay. Well, next cause is a oxygen sensor. Let me put one of those in. Well, guess what? The air-fuel ratio sensor for this thing is probably $250. Now you just put that in. Didn't fix anything. All right, well, maybe it's a purge solenoid. Let me put a purge solenoid in it. Put that in. Didn't fix anything. Now you're over $500 in parts that you just put in that you didn't need. The reason you didn't need it is because none of them are the cause of the problem. Yeah, those are the most common causes. But what's the problem with this car? Bad fuel pump. There's not enough fuel pressure. So not enough fuel pressure makes a car run lean. Had I not diagnosed it and just started throwing parts in it, we'd be $500 in parts in this vehicle instead of an hour's worth of labor to diagnose it. And people cry and complain, oh, I'm not spending $150 to diagnose my car. Okay, go ahead. I've seen it where people have spent over $1,000 because they didn't want to spend $150 diagnosing it. Swear, I've seen it. And it's not even $150 a lot of times. It starts at $75, at least for me. Some places are more. Dealerships are usually more. They're usually $150 or somewhere thereabouts. But it starts at $75. And that's for like a half hour's worth of diagnostic time. Usually I go up to an hour. And then it goes up from there. I've actually charged somebody close to $1,000 in diagnostic time because of the complexity of the issue. It was an electrical issue with the car, and the amount of work I had to do to get to the root cause of the problem. I mean, I spent days on this car trying to figure out what was going on. I finally did. Now, it was at 2 dealerships that were trying to figure out what the problem was. They couldn't figure it out. They had the car for months. I figured it out in 2 days, basically. So that was an extraordinary case. It does happen, though. Sometimes you do spend quite a bit on diagnostics. But it's necessary sometimes. You can go to a shop where somebody doesn't know what they're doing and they can charge you a lot for something because they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand how systems work. It happens. You have to know the shop you're going to. You have to trust the shop you're going to. Just because a shop is nice and fancy and clean and has neon lettering and everything else doesn't mean anybody knows anything. I mean, look at the shop I'm in. It doesn't look like much, and we keep it like that on purpose. I don't want a lot of people showing up. I have enough work. I got enough. I turn down people every day. And that's why we keep the place looking like this. We don't want a pretty place on purpose because people will avoid us. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. But people find me. It happens. People find me, so they show up and they want me to do stuff. And I have to turn down people every single day. But yeah, it basically boils down to you get what you pay for. You don't want to pay for diagnostics? Fine. You don't have to. Just understand, you could be throwing parts at your car that it never needed in the first place. So here we go. I mean, I had another, we have a bunch of wrecked cars here. We had another Camry, and originally I did think it was a bad mass air meter. So I took the mass air meter out of another Camry just out of curiosity and put it in, and it changed nothing. Lucky for me, I have one. I wasn't about to buy a new one to put in. It was just, in the back of my head, rather. You're just thinking, this is a potential problem. So, anyway, that's my whole point. Don't just go off of what the code says. Many times, that's not the actual issue. So, sometimes codes will point to an actual issue. Like, a lot of times, if you got a single O2 sensor heater failure code, usually it's an O2 sensor. If you got all 4 O2s setting a heater code, in every single O2 in the car, usually that's a wiring problem. But I've seen people throw all 4 sensors in thinking they're going to fix it. Nope. So, anyway, that's it. I thought I'd just touch on that with you guys. So if you get anything out of my videos, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's it for now. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.